What's up, guys? This is Herman. Today I'm gonna make a tier list for all the mutators in co-op missions, and this tier list is about how these mutators behave or affect the players in solo runs. So it's not in duo; it's solos. And the S tier is the hardest mutator, and E tier is the easiest one. So, or maybe just mutators that even benefit the players. And you can see there are a lot of mutators. I didn't count how many mutators there are, and there are some special mutators that we didn't see in the normal games like Afraid of Dark and Gifty Change. A lot of. Okay, so let's just begin. Okay, so first one, Afraid of Dark. I believe for so like the mutations, I think it's like a month ago, or I kind of forget. And the mutation next week, you will get this mutator, Afraid of Dark. It's just really annoying. So your unit almost have zero visions, and your structures only have like two range of vision. It's just really small, and you because for solos you only have one players, but usually for duos you have two cameras, so that's better. But for solos there are only one camera, so it just limit your vision, and your unit will be like will not attack in the dark, and if they get attacked they will just keep running away. So it's like the plus plus of darkness and short-sighted. So I believe it should be an S tier for for the mutator. And the next one, um, aggressive deployment. So for Deuce is probably fine, and if the AI is like uh, is the Devouring Scourge or like some easy AI, this mutator won't affect a lot. But for solos, I mean, you have to defend like two waves of drops, and it's just really hard to do that during in the solo runs, and it can also synergize with a lot of mutators like this two, or maybe just I think there are a lot of synergies for drops. You know, it's just like more stuff you need to clear, and for solos there are like twice more stuff. So it's just really hard. And if you ever break the rule of cloak, there will be detection unit comes down, and if it's Terran AI, um, there will be like science vessels or ravens, which are just really annoying. So I think the drops deserves an S tier. Okay, next one, alien incubation. So this one, it requires commanders to have AOE damage for almost like all the time, especially in early game. So, but in reality is that there are a lot of commanders do have some AOE damage in the early game. Like only a few doesn't have that, but most have. So the buildings are fine for most commanders, and it does synergize with some mutators, but not all mutators, because broodings are really fragile. It's like 30 HP, and and 4 attack damage, and 4 plus 3 when the upgrade is finished. So it's like 7 attack damage and 30 health. It's not a huge problem. It's just a small problem for commanders. So I will just give this mutator a C. Okay, Avenger. So this one, I think everyone know this mutator. Um, is like it's just focus on the attack wave. So the attack wave, it will be really hard to clear, and because whenever an enemy die, there will be like the rest will be stronger, and so it's just you need more time to clear the attack wave, and also when you're attacking, like when you push, you know, like if there is a thrasher and you accidentally make it big, so it will take like twice of your time to to just kill that thrasher, and Avenger can synergize with a lot of mutators. But fortunately, we have prestigious now, so I mean we for commanders is not that a nightmare for this mutator though. So I will just give it an 8 here. The next one, barrier. So barrier isn't that strong, but it's not really weak because it can synergize with like void rifts. It can just synergize with buildings and units, of course. So it's not A tier because it's not definitely weaker than Avenger, but barriers, it's like it also depends on the map a lot. So if there are a lot of unit and it will just like every unit has a like actual 100 shield, which is really annoying. So like usually when you like just say when you use Karax and you want to kill a zealot, so you just use three orbital strike to kill a zealot. But if there's barriers, you have two choices. You either use 5 to kill it, or you use 1 and wait for like 5 seconds, and then you use the rest. Then you use two shots to kill it a lot. It's just it strengthens the front line and the structures. So I think barrier deserve a B tier. Okay, next one, Black Dust. So if you're like if you use structures, Black Dust is like almost nothing for you. Like if you're using like Karax Swan, or if you're using Avisor or Stat Boy who can just out heal the Black Death, so it's not a huge problem for these commanders. But I would just say Black Death really restricted your unit choice. So like some unit you can you maybe just cannot use it at all because of Black Death. And Black Death, the core theory of Black Death is to make the players to trade with Amon. So like let's say if you use like Void Templar for from Zeratul to deal with this mutator, so let's say you might need to lose 3 each turn to kill an attack wave. So I mean we want to use Void Templar against Black Death, so we will just use cannons because their structures they won't be affected by Black Death. So which means it just made like force you to choose like the correct thing to fight the enemy. So because of that, Black Death deserves an A tier. Yes, and next one, Blizzard. So Blizzard is like the top 2 environmental mutators. The other one is Nuke. These two mutators really just like make you like force you to do multi-tag. So if you're using commanders like Avisor or Alarak or maybe Phoenix, so you need to macro in your main base, like to just put pylons or like build any structures, and then you must watch your army in the front line. So just in case you get trapped by the you get freezed by the blizzard or you get nuked by the going nuclear. So it just forces you to do the multitask. But fortunately, if you are good enough, you can just dodge this. I'm not saying it's really easy, but you can just dodge this. So because of that, and it just depends on how good you are. I would say Blizzard is a B tier mutator. Okay, next one. Boom Boss. Unfortunately, really not it's not that good to solo this mutator because you don't have an ally. They can't tell you the code, and you tell them the code, but they won't type it since there is no other players. So Boom Boss is like really a nightmare for solo runs. I'm not saying it can't be solo. So the theory of that is to just try to full clear as fast as possible, and you can use probes to trap the boom boss, trap the boom boss. So like just like trap the purifier beam, you can do that. So but usually this mutator cannot be solo, so S tier for sure. And this one. Mm, this is, I think the name is like chaotic studio. So this one is either S or E tier for the players. So I'll just give it a B tier because it may just get some like really hard competition, the mutator competitions, and maybe it's just really easy one. So just B tier in the medium. Next one, concussive attack. So concussive attack is pretty annoying. So it slows your unit by 50% and it lasts like 1 minute, I believe. But in reality, is that it just if you have more if your army have mobility, it it just solves the problem a lot. So let's say if you're using like Nova, so I mean your unit will move slow, but you have the airlift, and you can also just try to do multitask. So concussive attack doesn't really affect too much. It's just pain to watch your unit like working really slow. So I would just say a B tier for concussive attack. Okay, next one, darkness. Oh well, for this one, I would think that it it, it doesn't have a lot of effect for this mutator. If it's only this mutator, so it depends on map a lot. So if you get like Dead of Night or like missed opportunity and the Vermilion problem, so this remap darkness is really a big issue because like you need to find the last infected structures, and you don't know where the attack wave comes since waves in attack waves in missed opportunity they spawn randomly, and you also just don't know where the crystals are. So yeah, darkness in this map is pretty annoying, and it can also synergize with some mutators. Let's say darkness plus propagators, or darkness plus gifty change, or just darkness plus boom balls and darkness plus Q balls. It's just really annoying because you can't see them on the minimap. Yeah, and the darkness plus missile command is also really annoying. And darkness plus short sighted is just like Afraid of Dark. So darkness, I just give it a C tier. And next one, diffusion. So diffusion itself isn't that a big issue, but diffusion just have just has too many synergies. So the classic ones are diffusion lifesteal, like diffusion life leech, diffusion and fear, and diffusion and what's that called? Diffusion and concussive attack, and there's another one, the diffusion and trance. So these are just really annoying. Mm. So because of that, there are a lot of synergies. I would just say diffusion is definitely an A tier. Also, the double edge. Double edge is just, it requires you to have either regeneration, a lot of generations, a lot of regenerations, or you can just, your unit are self destructed. So like banings or mines, I mean spider mines, or you just have really low DPS like marines. Their DPS is not that high, so double edge, it regenerates health. 8 point I believe per second. It's not 10. It's 8. Well, if there's only one mutator, double edge is, it's probably not that annoying for most commanders, but there are a lot of mutators that need you to have high DPS, like Heroes of Storm, or like Propagators, or Void Animator, Void Rifts. There are a lot of things that requires DPS, and it also works on the map as well, like double edge train. Oh, and I forget to mention diffusion train. It makes the train to have like twice lives, and double edge minor evac, double edge dead of night. It's just really painful to um, play this map with double edge. So I would just say A tier for sure. And Dominion, Eminent Domain. Eminent Domain is not that, it's not that hard at all. Um, it it seems like it restricts your structures. Like let's say if you're using Karax or Swan, if there is eminent domain, you might. It seems like you can't use structures, but the reality is that you can, um, if you have enough. So it's not really a big issue. It's not like Black Death, which which restricts your unit. This mutator isn't that hard at all. So I would just say D tier. Yeah, E tier is the mutators that are just don't care, or like you players didn't get benefit from them. So it's D tier for eminent domain. Okay, next one, evasive maneuvers. So this one seems fine, right? So the enemy just blink, but the reality is that if you deals like an AOE damage to the enemy, and if the enemy didn't die, they'll just split and just blink right on top of your army. So in early game, it's just really annoying. So and of course, when they blink, it has like 2 second cooldown, and it also gives the unit who blinked a like 0.5 second invulnerability. So it just force you to like focus on another unit, which is kind of annoying for the players. And also if you're using like Swan, your laser drill will just keep attacking the enemy, and the enemy just keep blinking, which is really not. It's just anti-fun. It's not really fun to play this mutator at all. So I would just say it's like concussive attack though. So B tier for sure. Okay, next one, Fatal Attraction. I think this is an S tier mutator. I don't think anyone has any issues with that. So, it, the most disgusting part of this mutator is that it uh, it sees your it sees your instructions. So if like you are shift clicking to try to move, but well, this method just say no. You can't shift click. You have to click again. which is really annoying for for the players. So it's definitely S tier. But fortunately, if you're using some commanders like Karax or maybe Swan, you don't really need to care about this mutator though, because uh, fatal attraction cannot pull your siege unit. So if your observer is siege up, it can't pull your observer. Yeah, so that's pretty good. And next one, fear. So fear, I would say this mutator is not it's not that hard, but it just if you're using like a an army to fight against fear, fear really counters the units that has low health. So let's say if you're using like 100 lings to attack Amon, and if they have fear, you probably cannot kill a lot, and your lings will just keep dancing, and you can't. Fear can also seize your instructions, your instructions. So, but if you're using, if you're using structures, it's not that hard, and fear can be immune by some extra shields like defensive drones or the shields from the science vessels, or even though not a lot of players use that, and I think the emergency shield also immune to the also immune the fear. Yeah, so overall it's not S tier for sure. So it's just a B tier for fear. Next one, what's this method called? Oh, fireworks. So fireworks, I would say it's just really annoying because it just follows your unit, and it tries to like explode the position that you are gonna reach, and if you don't micro well, your 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 army will just die in like 2 seconds. So it's really hard to fight against these mutators. Um, for some heroic units, if you micro well, is because it's easy to micro. You only have one unit, but you can't lose it though. So fireworks is, in my mind, is another S tier. Is another S tier mutator. Okay, next one, gifted change. So this one, for most people, they might think, well, it's gift, right? So it benefits players, so it should be like an E tier. Well, unfortunately, gifted change is a nerf of aggressive deployment because it has extra waves, and it forces you to do multitask. And don't forget, if this mutator only exists in void lines, but if you play this mutator on other maps, you will find out that the like let's say if it's in missed opportunity, the first gift spawns at 3 minutes, and it spawns at the fourth point. So which is hard for most commander to reach that part to get the gift, and most commanders can't deal with Q balls that well. So if you have Q balls in like 15 minutes, it's like 50. You need to fit 50 units. Most commanders don't have that many units to feed. If they have, it's just mostly workers. So it just affect your economy a lot. Um, and also the the gifts for the players is all I mean, and also the gifts for the Amon is all RNG. So if you get like if you're playing Adversary and you get like an Avenger Archangel, so it's probably game over because you just out kill Amon a lot. But if you can't get this, well, you won't just you won't feel this mutator is an E tier anymore. So I would say Gift Exchange is definitely an A tier. If you ever play solo on any other map except Void Launch, uh, you will know what I mean. Okay, next one. Going nuclear. I said this one is B tier, right? So this two, you can dodge this, but it just requires multitask a lot. You can't just watch your base for 5 seconds, and then your army outside probably just died. Yeah. Okay, next one. Hardened Will. Okay, Hardened Will is is synergized with something like just about hybrid or other like hero union or like heroes of thorn or propagators. So but fortunately there are maps that doesn't have a lot of hero in it like Rift Gore and the what's that called uh even in the Mall Warfare, there's not a lot of hero unit. It's just some hybrid in the enemy base. So overall, it's not a really big issue. You just need to kill the small unit first, and then kill the hero unit. Yeah, so I would say it's a C tier. It's a C tier. Okay, next one. Heroes of Storm. Hero from the Storm is definitely an S tier because so if you're not using Step Boy to fight against this mutator for solos, you kind of need to change your plan. So let's say if you're playing 02, well, so for the like 6 minute wave, there are or maybe yeah 5 minute wave, there are the Haka and the Tychus, right? So you need to use the Legion to help tank and use your ambusher or Void Templars to try to kill the hero first, and you really need to let the Haka use the mimic ability first and try not to fight the mimic because the mimic also deals a lot of damage, and there are two mimics. Yes, and just for a lot of commanders, except Sad Boy, you kind of need to change your way of dealing these mutators. So it's definitely an S tier. Okay, next one, inspiration. So inspiration kind of like Hardened Will. It depends on the map a lot, and because of hero unit. So I would just say it's another C tier mutator. Well, it just gives +3 armor and plus I think it's 25% attack speed, so it's kind of like a +3 attack, +3 armor. Well, it's pretty a nightmare for most like low damage commanders, like for assembled Zerglings and for carriers. It's pretty just a nightmare for them. Also depends on the map a lot. And the next one, Just Die. So Just Die kind of like Avenger. Well, it's I would say Avengers sometimes you can try not to let the hybrid to get avenged, but if there's Just Die, so it's just twice HP, and it will have the 1 second or yeah, 1 second invulnerability, and it will just regenerate full mana as well. Yeah, so just nice. That is another A tier mutator. Okay, next one, kill boss. Um, this mutator really just depends on. Okay, so it depends on map first. So if the map is like 10 pass, it's really easy to full clear. So then the mutator won't affect a lot. However, if this mutator is in like missed opportunity or mall warfare, or even in void launch, you can't full clear. I mean, but for missed opportunity you can full clear, but it's just really hard for solos. If there's a mutator like this happen, uh, so it's pretty bad for the games, and you just feel lame like that. You need to feed the unit every second. It's not that fun. And another thing is that it depends on commander a lot. So if you're using a Protoss commander, well, you probably can't even solo that if the map isn't like Temple Pass or minor evac. If you're using Tyrants or Zerg, it's probably fine, but it's just a lot of economies. For Zagara and Stukov and Sad Boy it's just fine. Yeah. So in general, Kill Boss is another S tier. Okay, next one, Laser Drill. So Laser Drill, I would say, it's not that hard, but it's something. So it's just when you explode, when you exposed to the enemy, and you get drilled for all the time if you don't escape from the enemy vision. Well, there are a lot of cloaked unit or structures that can provide vision, like the creep tumors for Zergs, and also some like observers. Yeah, it's just cloaked and it provides vision. It's really annoying. And also it's pretty it's pretty difficult for the Haka when you try to level him up, because you will just constantly exposed to the enemy vision. Well, it's kind of nightmare for the early game. And for drills, you just want to try to have something to heal you, or like some shields to protect your unit. So drills will become nothing if you kill the drill, and the drill will revive in 2 minutes. So you probably just want to build some static defense around that to try to trap the drills. See, so overall, drill is, in my mind, is another B tier. Okay, next one, lava burst. So this one is not stronger than going nuclear and blizzard, right? So the only annoying part for this mutator is if you have a lot of army, you have a large army and your unit are really big. So let's say Absers like Ravager and Artanis Dragoons. So yeah, just chunk together and just get lava burst for a lot of times. Yeah, and also if you're using Atarak and you're putting gateways and pylons in your base, and your Atarak gets lava get damaged by the lava burst, it's because your unit won't run away if you get hit by the lava. So Atarak himself will just constantly get damaged, and you just keep eating your unit, which is kind of sad. So you just need to watch your army. But this one is, so if like it's like if it's blizzard or nuke, so your army will just disappear in 1 second if you don't watch them correctly. But for lavas, it's not you won't lose all your army. So in my mind, lavas is a C tier mutator. Okay, next one, life leech. So this one seriously is really hard if it synergizes with anything like revives or Avengers, also diffusion. So and it's an A tier mutation, life leech. It's just it makes it hard to kill the enemy. Yeah. So in my mind, it's another A tier mutator. Next one, long range. Long range, um, is well, it's kind of annoying because the enemy which have longer range and bigger visions. So if the enemy is turn is long range is really a big issue, and for some commanders you can try to like get a gas, or like for adversary you want to lure the enemy to get more biomass in the early game. If long range exists, well, you can't just can't lure, or you can't just get a fastest man. So long range is a B tier in my mind. Okay, this one, lucky envelope. This one is an E tier for sure because it benefits players. The only problem for this mutator is that if it spawns in your base, well, your command center might be like some might be just away from your minion, so it might be a problem in the early game. But it's really rare to happen. It's really rare to see that. So envelope is definitely easier. It benefits the players. Okay, next one, magnificent. So magmines is something. Well, it deals a lot of damage, right? So it deals 250 damage and it's AoE physical damage. Other than that, you can just try to lure, try to trigger trigger the magmines in the enemy base first, and then you run your army into it. So you need to trigger all the magmines first to make the game easier. Otherwise, magmine might just kill all your armies if you don't micro that well. So for most commanders you can do that. So in my mind, magmine is C tier. Okay, next one. Microtransaction is really pain to play this mutator in my mind, and I believe a lot of players think this imitator is really annoying. It might not be that hard, but it restricts your economy a lot if you're using some heroic units a lot of times, like Tychus or like Zeratul. You use your hero unit a lot, but Zeratul is fine because you have cannons. Yeah, cannons doesn't cost gas, and also for the Haka you need to like try to move, jump, and devour, eat something, and then make them slow, and you just a lot of micros, and you just might maybe just lose all your gas in the early game, and you just don't have a gas for don't have gas for your army, or just don't have gas for another den. So yeah, I would say microtran is really annoying in my mind. It's just S tier mutator. Yeah, restricts your economy, and because for RTS games, the core theory is to encourage you to do more micros. But if this mutator it exists, well, you can't really micro a lot because you need to be slow so that you don't get punished a lot by the money. And there's a personal thing for me. When I finish game with microtrend and I jump into the next game, I just think this meter still exists. So I just count like count micro, and then I realize, oh, this meter doesn't exist. So I can macro, but I just didn't get used to that because I got punished a lot for the last game. Okay, next mutator, mineral shields. Mineral shields is another economy mutator, and well, it's definitely not harder than microtransaction. So in my mind, it's a B tier mutator because it also restricts your economy somehow if you forget to clear the shields. And minerals is really important for most commanders because like for Nova you need minerals to cast your top bar, and for Iraq you just need a lot of minerals for supplicants. Oh, and for what's else? And for the Hawkeye, is fine because if you don't need to build a lot of primal worms, it's fine. And for what's that called? For Tychus, well, your gears need money. Your gears need a lot of minerals, and if you want to get another outlaw, you also need a lot of minerals. So B tier. Okay, next one, Minesweeper. So this one is quite annoying. It requires you to have detection and have the way to clear the mines. So, well, you need an early detection unit. You need an early detection unit, and also you can't lose it because it's probably costs a lot if you're rushing them, and the mines do a lot of damage. I think it's like 250, and also the Widow mines has like twice HP, so it's like 180 HP. Spider mine is still 25. Well, it's if you're playing maps like Missed Opportunity or Modern Warfare, this simulator is really a big issue because you need to push the enemy base, and you need to clear the mines. If you're playing maps like what's that called, the Oblivion Express, so you don't have to push the enemy base, so that's fine. You just clear the mines. Your natural. Oh, and don't forget, there might be mines in your natural if you're unlucky, so you can't get a fast expand if you can't clear the mines. Also, mines provides vision though. Don't forget that. So mines is an 8 tier. Okay, next one, missile command. So this one is really hard for solos because if you typed solo in the Magru map, there will be twice. So all the missiles will come to you, which means it's twice damage. So this is solo, and if you don't press solo, well, you just need to defend your ally base. It's really hard to do that if you're not using certain commanders, and it costs a lot to build that defense. So S tier for sure. Next one, moment of violence. So this one just depends on the map a lot. It's kind of like inspiration and hardened will. So I would say moment of silence, and what I call it, what's this mutually assured destruction. These two are same as these two, so see here for this two. And next one, Nautilus. Nautilus, it just depends on the commanders. So if you're using like Phoenix or just Phoenix P2 or Tychus, yeah, just some unit that keep like it's just really hmm just really pain to play. So yeah, because your unit will walk like after your Tychus die, when you revive your Tychus, it still have that number of kill. So your Tychus will still like a marine shot the Tychus, you probably just lose like let's say 100 HP. It's a lot, right? So if you have like nine marines shoot at you same time, well, your Tychus probably just die. Yeah, so Nautilus is probably it's just pretty annoying for some commanders, but for some commanders like Zagara or for Stukov, probably just don't care about this mutator at all. So I would say this mutator is a B tier. Just depend on the commander. Okay, next one, Orbital Strike. This is not a strong environment mutator, but it does hurt the objectives like the tempo or the bots or Arena. So it's not hard, but you just need to keep away from these objectives. So it's a D tier for sure. Okay, next one, Outbreak. In solos, Outbreak is a little bit annoying because well you need to do some multitasking in the early game because zombies will or I mean infested marines and aberrations will just come to your main base. So you need some type of defense, and then you just do what you should do, but you just need to defend. Well, it's just somehow annoying. Yeah, you need to defend for the for the zombies, and after 20 minutes aberration for the maps you can't full clear. Well, there will be like eight aberrations come to your base like every 1 or 2 minutes. I can't remember the time correctly. So in my mind, Outbreak is a B tier. Next one, Photon Overload. This meter depends on the map a lot, but it's not really a big issue. Let's say if you're in Oblivion Express or Void Lunch, it's like nothing. You don't need to push, right? You just defend, attack wave, and kill the train. Yeah, it's not a very big issue. But for the map like Modern Warfare and also when we're in a problem, there are a lot of structures, and the structure which is not heroic will be able to attack. So suppression tower included. But overall, you if you just have heals or you just try not to damage the enemy buildings, it's not a really big issue. So this one is just a D tier, not that hard. Okay, next one, Polarity. S tier for sure. Don't need more explains. Yeah, if you want a solo Polarity, well, you just need to be lucky now. Like 5 shards are all yours, or like 10 shards are all yours, or maybe all with Thrasher are yours. Yeah, just really hard. And okay, next one, Power Overwhelming. I think this one is an A tier because there's not really a commander that's is really good against power overwhelming. Maybe Stukov P3 is, but power overwhelming just affects a lot in the game. The way you want to deal with them is just try not to fight straight against them, like how you fight if the enemy have like uh, tran, trans, transmutations. So you just try not to fight, and if you want to fight, just finish the fight as quickly as possible. So that's the way to deal with power overwhelming. So A tier for sure. It's just really hard, and it's just every unit can cast ability, and if you don't consume the ability a lot, you would just get punished by like a black hole plus like three sacred missiles, or like storms, fungos, or also the temporal field is really annoying. Yes. Next one, propagators. A tier for sure. Some maps can be full cleared. Props won't spawn if you full clear. Also the outbreak, I forget to mention that. And propagator, well, every commander has a way to deal with them. So it's not like Q-boss. Q-boss, a lot of commanders can't deal with them easily. And but the key of props is try not to make mistakes, because if ever you made any mistake, well, you maybe just kind of lose. But it's fun to watch that for the viewers, but not for the players, right? So yeah, that's probably it. Okay, next one, purifier beam. It can be trapped, so it makes it becomes really low tier. If purifier beam plus like a blizzard or nuke, it might not be able to trap, but it's rare to see that, right? So D tier. If you can trap it, it's not. I'm not saying it's really hard though. You just try to lure it away from your main army. So that's a way to deal with the purify beam if you can't trap it. Next one, scorch earth. Scorch earth. In my mind, is not a hard mutator, but it kind of just, it hurts the ground army a lot if you're using again like Abster Ravager or like Arcanist Dragoon. So your army, or maybe also the also Arax, Arax unit. You have a lot of unit, and just standing on the fire is really, it just hurts your feet, and yeah, it's just really annoying somehow. So C tier. And self destruction is in my mind is another C tier for sure, because, well, if there are a lot of enemy units and they are melee, or if your army is melee, you might just get explosions, get exploded a lot of times, and you need sometimes micro, so self destruction is also somewhat annoying, but it's not that hard. Yes, depends on the enemy unit though. And this mutator was called sharing is caring. So this one doesn't exist in solos because you only have one player, right? You don't need to care about this mutator at all. So E tier. Okay, next one, short sighted. Well, this one is definitely an A tier, because if you can't see the enemy and you get attacked by any like ranged unit, your unit will just keep running away if you don't micro it. Yeah, it's really annoying if you don't hold them or like patrol them. Yeah, it's just really annoying if you can't see the enemy and you just outrange. You feel like you just outrange by the enemy, and you can't see it. Yeah, it's really annoying, and it just forces. It also hurts like commanders that are rely on buildings a lot, like Carrick or Swan. So Swan, you need to fly some factories to get vision and use your drill to kill them, or just let your turrets kill them to get just you need ways to get vision. Most times it's just try to use unit. So for cataracts, you just build a lot of sentinels and sentinels carriers or sentinels immortals. Yeah, just try not to use, I mean, building structures. Yeah, because they can't move. Yeah, they can't get closer to the enemy. Okay, next one, slim peaking. Well, this is another S tier for sure because, well, you need tons of micro to get the money, and you need to control the map to get more money. If there are any, environmental mutators you can't get more money, or let's say like mine sweepers, yeah, you can't get the money. You can't get a lot of money. It just restrict your economy a lot. Changes the way you get the economy. So S tier. Okay, next one, speed freak. Okay, so speed freaks is in my mind is another B tier mutator because, well, usually when we fight against Amon, we try not to lose units, right? So we try to kite the enemy. But if they have like 5.5 movement speed, well, the attack wave is just really fast. Just come to your base. It just takes like 5 seconds or maybe just 10 seconds. It's just really fast. Usually it's like 40 seconds. Depends on like the basic movement speed movement speed of the enemy units. So, but now it's all like 5.5 or maybe higher. Like due to some like zerglings, they're really fast. So and it just synergizes with a lot of things like speed freaks props, speed freaks avoid the enemy, speed freak heroes, and speed freak warriors. It's just really annoying. It's just it forces the enemy to come to your face really fast and just, which means it deals more damage, right? So B tier. Next two, temporal field and temporal field and time wrap. This two isn't that hard. Aren't hard mutators, environmental mutators. So D tier for sure. Yeah, this two isn't that hard. Just try to dodge. If you don't dodge, well, it's not really a big issue. Next one, transmutation. Okay, this mutator is A tier in my mind because, well, the way you fight against transmutation, attack wave, or the base with transmutation, you try not to fight strictly like how you fight against power overwhelming, and it also restricts your unit choice. And you can't just use like one reserveness against the enemy because they'll just become hybrid, and you can't deal with the hybrids and you just die. Yeah, that's transportation. And also induce. Your ally might just make some trouble because they just feed hybrid. Yeah, so but in solos you don't have an ally, so that's not the case. So transmutation is A tier. Okay, next one, trick or treat. So this is another econ mutator, and yeah, it punishes a lot. It doesn't punish a lot because it's just some like small unit. Just kill them. It's fine. Just don't forget to buy the candies because the jar cannot be put in the control group, which is really annoying. You need to use a camera for that. Yeah, and for some maps like Modern Warfare, you can't see how many HP left for arena because of this mutator. So just some like tips. So overall, just don't forget to buy them. It's B tier. Okay, next one, turkey shot. Well, it's another B tier for me. You need to just kill the chickens to I mean turkeys to try to get more supplies. Well, in I mean this method only happens in the trains, so it's fine for trains because whenever a train dies, there are a lot of turkeys comes off. Yeah, you can just get more supplies, which is kind of good. Yeah, but for a lot of maps, well, there aren't a lot of turkeys. If you like to feed a special tower, there aren't a lot. And if you're below your max supply, your unit will be starving and just keep losing HP until you're not max. Hmm. And turkeys cannot be auto attacked. You need to shift click or just you need to attack manually attack one turkey, and then you can just auto attack all the other turkeys. Well, just a B tier for me. It's not hard but not easy. You need to just do a lot of multitask, and there will be the turkey king and a lot of infested turkeys come to your base if you play this mutator on Oblivion Express. So B tier for me. Okay, next one. Twist. Twister. Twister isn't a hard environment mutator, so B tier for me. Oh, sorry, D tier for me. Next one, Vertigo. Vertigo is the only mutator that get banned from the games. If you choose like random mutator, you won't get this mutator because this mutator is just it's it just mentally destroy you. Yeah, it's just mentally destroy if you don't have a computer that can be like that whose screen can't be turned by yourself. Yeah, it's really annoying and no one likes it. These mutators. So S tier. I don't think I need more explanation for that. Next one, Void Reanimator. Um, it's kind of like Rifts, but in the maps you can full clear. This mutator won't be a really big issue. And for the minor evac, you know, the reanimator won't go to revive the infested things like either zombies or the marines or the aberrations because they are not in the same team. Yes, and but this material is really hard for solos. Well, if you clear an enemy base, you need to defend that base because that base, there will be reanimator comes and to revive stuff in that base. So you need to defend the place you cleared. Yeah, and you also need to defend the trickles in your base. If any trickles comes, well, A tier in my mind. Next one, Void Rifts. Well, S tier for sure. Void Rifts early game is really annoying. 220 is the first wave of rifts. 2 rift spawns. For most commanders, you don't have anything yet. Yeah, like for Absur, if you're good enough, you can get your first bonus. But for normal players, well, it's kind of hard for them. And let's say for Zagara, you need to have like 18 links, so you split them 9 and 9 to on the map to try to snipe to get the rift. And if there enemy if there is a turtle spawn, you maybe just want to burrow your links and unburrow it when the Zealots goes away. Yeah. Just overall, rifts are really annoying. It just requires you to have map control and good early games. That's the key for the rifts, and just try to clear them as fast as possible. If you can't clear a rift, you just need to defend the trickle safe. Well, I'm gonna say that it's not hard to defend the trickles, but if there are mutators that strengthen the enemy, let's say revives, or black death or diffusion, it's just really annoying if you can't kill a rift. Yeah, so S tier for sure. Okay, next one, walking infested. So this is same as Broodlings. The only two differences is that it works slower than Broodlings and it has 5 more HP than Broodlings. Because it works really slow, it can easily get Avenger. Yeah, these two synergy. Okay, last one. Vimu Unseen. So this one requires you to have the detection. But you don't need to clear the mines, right? You just need to have detection. So it's a B tier in my mind. Because just have detection is okay to deal with this mutator, and also, um, Vivo one thing doesn't make the enemy structure cloaked. So let's say, and also some units won't be cloaked, like Void Thrasher. So if you're using like Hand Horner, you can just use Call in the Fleet to clear the second set of the Thrasher in Void Thrashing. Just use one, and we will all and the Void Thrasher will just all die because you make the regular unit cloaked. Well, the Thrasher will just die. Yeah, and also in the what's that called, size of alien, that also happens. Yeah, and that's all for the mutators though. Yeah, I don't want to do the detailed rankings. It's kind of hard to do that. Yeah, because there are a lot of mutators. For commanders, there are only 18 mutators. There are like 60s. I didn't count how many there are. Yeah, and that's it. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching.